What's going on, everyone? So, as we all wait around anxiously for the upcoming Scream 7, we got some little details about the upcoming Scream 7. Nothing like crazily spoilerish or anything like that. Obviously, always take all this stuff with a grain of salt, but it's nothing that is going to like ruin the movie or anything like that for anybody. Just some, cool little details that I wanted to share and talk about. But I know some people don't want to hear anything about the movie. They don't want to know even, whatever Gail goes and buys a bagel, right? There's people that don't even want to know that, right? So if you're somebody that's like that, that's fine, no problems. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button on the way out if you're not subscribed. But those that are here, again, it's nothing super spoilerish. It's not I'll never share like who the killers are or anything like that. I'll have my own theories. We'll run with stuff, but I won't, I won't spoil the important stuff for anybody. Keep that in mind, and I'll always give you a heads up if I'm talking about anything that is rumored to be attached to the movie. But again, this isn't anything that's going to be super spoilerish. So if you're here, let's get into it. So, according to Critical Overlord, which many of you I'm sure are familiar with, a male and female podcaster have a few lines, right, which I think is interesting. We'll touch on that here in a moment. The opening scene has a Ghostface phone call, right? We know the opening scene is an Airbnb, so that's going to be interesting. Sam is also indirectly referenced. The Stu angle is tied to a Scream 2 Easter egg. So I want to touch on all of these. I'm actually going to do that last one in a separate video, touch on it briefly here, but I want to kind of go more in depth on that in a separate video because that's a very interesting thing that kind of, again, signals that, like, hey, we might be getting Stu in the upcoming Scream movie. But the male and female podcaster, they have a few lines. I mean, we're in the age of podcasts, right? We're in the age of content creation and all that stuff. I mean, you're watching a video from a content creator, right? So, that makes some sense. Having the opening scene, right, be a Ghostface call. We know that, again, it's the Airbnb scene. We saw it in the trailer. Kind of makes sense, right? You want to have that Ghostface call, that menacing call. They're in the Stu house, Airbnb, trying to just live their best life. They get a phone call. There's a lot of ways that you could approach that. That could either be like they think it's one of their buddies that they told that's just kind of messing with them, or they could think, oh, hey, this is part of the experience, right? That's the whole thing, right? You got the Ghostface animatronics, you got all these things. Ooh, like it's super cool. Like we can kind of immerse ourselves in that experience. So I think that is kind of cool. This Sam thing is something that I think is important, right? Obviously, you don't have Sam and Tara in this upcoming Scream movie. It sounds, based on that, what I read is that the Sam reference is probably in the opening scene, but we're also supposed to get an explanation as to where Sam and Tara are and why Gail and the Meeks twins are working together. And that's because supposedly Sam and Tara are in the witness protection program. That after the events of Scream 6, they decided to go into protection, which kind of feels a little underwhelming personally. It's not my favorite thing, but okay, sure. Right. It's just, why didn't the Meeks twins do it is kind of a common thing that I hear from people. But again, the Meeks twins have their mom, right? They're kind of more out in the open, where Sam and Tara, they basically only have each other, right? So it's like, let's do it together. But I also don't really like it because you had like the whole point of the end of Scream 6 was that Tara wanted to go live her life, that she wanted, like, trust me, let me go, quit being the helicopter parent. I get you're trying to protect me type thing. And the whole purpose was that, Sam chose chose her sister and not to go full dark side. And Tara, just all she wanted to do was be trusted and let go. Sam lets her go. And, that was the whole scene where it's like, trust me, let me go type thing. And then, like, you had a good, proper send off. I don't think you really needed to have anything crazy. You could have just, it could have been as simple as, hey, Sam and Tara, they're off doing their own thing. Sam is with Danny, Sam is with Danny, and Tara's living her life. right? Like Chad and Mindy, they wanted to get into the social media space or the news space or whatever, right? So they're working with Gail. Boom, easy peasy, right? So I do think that whole thing is a little underwhelming, disappointing. But again, we'll see kind of how good execution, good storytelling, good everything. I get that they're probably going to want to distance themselves a little bit from Sam and Tara to kind of focus on Sydney and her daughter Tatum and all that, which is fine. But it's just I would have liked a little better explanation. But to get into like the little stew thing, right? I think it's interesting. And again, I'm going to go more in depth. I really want to talk about this as a point. So, I mean, the Scream 2 Easter egg has got to be, Matthew Lillard in the background. Are they going to actually tie and incorporate that into the actual film? Right? Is that going to be how they use him as alive? Is like Stu's always been in the background, right? Because he's been in most of the movies, right? So you could, like, if you wanted to, I mean, problem is people like myself and many of you that watch this video know the history behind that. But like I always say, you look at it from a general audience perspective, you look at it from a general audience standpoint, they don't. There's a lot of people that probably don't have no idea Matthew Lillard is even in the background, right? So, you have that as the Easter egg, like that makes some sense. Again, I've talked about, they keep nudging towards Stu is going to be alive in this film, which at this point, it's like, if he's not, you're going to have a lot of pissed off people, I think. Because again, it's like everything we get is like, hey, Stu's alive. I still think it could be the Leslie Mocker route where you kind of have Stu. You want the illusion that Stu's alive. So then in the end, the shock and twist is like, oh, it's not Stu, it's his sister. And that's why it seemed like Stu was alive. Right? But I also feel like that would be just, again, a little underwhelming. I think people would be a little upset and bothered by that. I think people would be a little disappointed by that. But at the end of the day, just give me a good film, right? That's all I care about. Give me a good movie, good execution, good delivery, good storytelling, all of those things that, I talk about regularly. I think that there's a real opportunity here for this Scream movie. I think you have a lot of exciting elements that could potentially be added to it. It's just, again, it's up to just the execution and delivery at this point. And we're going to find out, we're a little month and a half away from the actual film. So this will be exciting. But anyway, again, as always, love to hear your thoughts and opinions. I pass the question on you. What do you think? What do you make of the podcasting route, the Melissa Barrera, Sam route? What do you make of Stu? All the things that we covered in this video. Like I said, I'm probably going to make a couple individual videos on these things because I want to kind of elaborate on these points, but I wanted to just at least give you guys the little updates and let you guys know. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. So we enjoy these types of videos and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel. What are you doing? Hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.